Buonasera amici, I'm Heather, live from Castel Gandolfo, just outside of Rome, Italy, and let's go ahead and get into our second conversational Italian lesson. So in this lesson, we're going to learn one of the most important skills that you're going to need, and you're going to use it every single day, introducing yourself in Italian. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to say your own name in Italian, ask for someone else's name, both formally and informally, and respond politely with the phrase piacere, meaning pleasure, or it's a pleasure to meet you. So remember, you can download the free PDF lesson. You can find the link in the description box below. I've created this lesson for you so that you can follow along with me. You can see it in front of you, and then you can take it with you and review it on your own time. So let's go ahead and start with the most basic introduction. Mi chiamo. Say it with me. Mi chiamo, which means my name is, or I call myself. So for example, mi chiamo Heather. Mi chiamo Heather. So go ahead and repeat after me with your name. Mi chiamo Heather. Nice. So now how do you ask someone their name? If you're meeting someone of your own age or in a more casual setting, you can say, Come ti chiami? Come ti chiami? Repeat after me. Come ti chiami? This means, what's your name in an informal setting? But if you're meeting someone older, or you're in a more professional setting, or if you just want to show a little bit more respect the first time that you meet someone, you can say, Come si chiama? Come si chiama? Repeat after me. Come si chiama? Now here's a very polite and useful phrase. Piacere di conoscerti, which means pleased to meet you, or piacere. You use this in an informal setting. And the formal version of this is piacere di conoscerla. So informal, we have piacere di conoscerti. Formal, piacere di conoscerla. So here's a helpful memory trick. The verb conoscere comes from the Latin root conoscere, which means to learn, to become familiar with, or to get to know someone. So every time you say piacere di conoscerti or conoscerla, you're literally saying, it's a pleasure to get to know you. So repeat after me. Piacere di conoscerti. Piacere di conoscerla. It's nice to meet you. And here's a tip. When someone says piacere di conoscerti or la to you, you can reply with piacere, or even better, piacere mio, which means my pleasure. So here's a little cultural tip for you to help you remember these phrases. My friends in Italy are always very polite whenever I say grazie to them, thank you. Every single time they respond very humbly with piacere mio. It's truly my pleasure. And I love that. And they don't just say it, they actually mean it. So Italians aren't only polite, but they're very genuinely sincere. And don't be afraid to express your happiness in serving them as well. So when someone says grazie to you, you can say piacere mio. It's my pleasure. The pleasure is all mine. Another common, more casual way to say you're welcome is e niente, which means literally it's nothing, or don't worry about it. Both responses, piacere mio, piacere, or e niente, they're all polite and natural, and you'll have different options depending on the situation, but these work in most instances and situations. So let me share a little personal story that helps me remember this. Whenever I meet a new person in Italy, I always begin with the formal greeting, piacere di conoscerla. In Italy, there's a cultural expectation of showing respect, especially at the very first meeting. So people will often shake your hand and they'll look you in your eyes, and it doesn't feel rushed. It's very genuine. They want to make you feel comfortable, and there's a real exchange of energy there. So here's something a little bit relatable. With people my own age, it sometimes feels a little bit awkward to be so formal, right? But I've found that people will actually respect you a little bit more for it. So it shows that you actually value the connection, and usually by the end of that first conversation, you'll already be on a first name basis and you'll be saying ciao, just like you're a part of the family. So always start polite and then let them say ciao and go informal for you. And a mini conjugation tip. So at the end of each lesson, I'd like to give you a little taste of how the Italian verbs work, how they're conjugated. So you noticed in mi chiamo, the verb ends in o or o. That's because when we talk about ourselves in Italian, we use verbs ending in o. Mi chiamo. When we're talking directly to another person informally, verbs often end in I or I. So ti chiami for you. Come ti chiami? And when speaking formally, we often end the verbs in e or a. So come si chiama? Later on, we'll learn about the plural forms like noi for we and loro for they. But for now, just remember, o means I means you, and a means you in the formal. So, io mi chiamo Heather. I call myself Heather. Tu ti chiami? You call yourself. And lei si chiama? You call yourself in the formal. So that's it for lesson 2. You now know how to say your name, ask for someone else's name, and we've explained piacere and piacere di conoscerti and la. And you can respond with piacere mio or e niente. And you even got a peek at some Italian verb endings. Don't forget to download your free PDF in the description box below and review all of today's phrases. In the next lesson, we'll learn how to say where you're from and ask others where they're from. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.